Clairaudience. Hearing, quote unquote, yourself, or if you are skilled enough, recognizing that something is speaking to you, whether it be a spirit guide, an energy, an entity, or a spirit. Clairaudience is hearing, usually in your head, certain things, certain phrases, certain words, or in-depth conversations between you and your quote-unquote self. Could also be known as your higher self. These are all different ways of interpreting how we communicate with our own vessel as a conduit with other things, for lack of a better word, energies, entities, things of that nature. Clairaudience, you have to realize when you are talking to yourself, when your conscious is speaking to you, and if you're communicating with an energy. This also has a lot to do with questioning everything, which will be another video. Remember, when you are communicating and using your body as a vessel, if you are trying with your best intention to ask that the energy come in light, love, and peace and harmony, however way or your attention is, in order to call that energy or entity to you, or if you're hearing something, to ask if the energy is coming with the best intentions, the most positive intentions. And because we can all read frequency, you will know immediately whether or not the specific energy will suit you at that time. Whether it's coming, within a positive space or a negative space. Or a neutral space, a balanced space, in order to give you constructive criticism, whatever the case may be. Then you have to really question things. So let's have an example. Is this my spirit guide? You will hear it. Is this an ancestor? You will hear the answer. Is this an entity? You will hear the answer. People communicate with angels. Is this a quote-unquote angel? Which is an entity frequency, but we'll get into that in another video. Question everything. It is perfectly okay in order to acquire knowledge to question everything, otherwise you will not learn. And having fear, that frequency can be read, so do not fear anything but your own true intentions. If you are going with the best of intentions in light, love, peace, harmony, positivity, then you should fear nothing because your intentions are pure. So know that when you hold and you master one's self frequency, and when you start to learn how to communicate with other energies and learning to question which kind of energy is present at that time, or before calling an energy to you, how to perceive that energy, then this tool can be very useful in communicating with your spirit guides and spirit mediumship, as well as knowing when you're talking to your higher self, talking to yourself, or your consciousness speaking to you, as well as, being really content with the fact that you are a spiritual being within yourself. You are a massive energy inside a vessel, which is a conduit to the spirit world and to other energies, because if you think about it through a scientific standpoint, we are a bundle of nerves and energy inside a body that is conducively emulsive water, and water is a conduit of electricity, which is energy, which is why you can exert energy in regards to dancing, and as well as any kind of artistic talent you might have. You might exert energy through painting, or through singing, or through dancing, and we always say, oh, I'm really tired afterwards, because you have exerted and pushed energy outside of yourself. And you must be aware at all times, because spirituality is a lifestyle, to learn to master oneself. And this is all coming roundabout in regards to clairaudience, mastering oneself, knowing when you are speaking to yourself, asking that question, am I just talking to myself? Sometimes we need to have conversations with ourselves to know what our intentions are. Like, am I really doing this for the right reasons? Is this really like what really serves me, or is this just my ego? Am I putting this up in quote unquote a selfie? Do I really need to put this selfie up, or am I trying to gain attention? It could be not necessarily appropriate, or it could just be something that you're trying to attract the attention of somebody else. And just be content with yourself. Know what your true intentions are. And when you're listening to oneself, and after you have mastered oneself, you will know exactly who, what, when, where, and that's because you have been, basically, you're living on a frequency in which you're completely content with yourself, and it's a very indifferent frequency, and you will attract, indifferent meaning balanced, balanced frequency, that you will know your own truth, and you will know what is going on within your own mind. And mastering one's mind is mastering everything. So that has been Clairaudience.